Mhm. So last class we have learned something about duty and delta of irrigation water. So duty of irrigation water, it is nothing but the irrigating capacity of a unit of water, and it is also defined as it is the relation between the area of crop to be irrigated and the quantity of irrigation water required during the entire growth period of that particular crop. Suppose if a particular crop is grown in an area of say 5,100 hectares, and the water amount of water supplied during the entire growth period of the crop is say about 3 cumecs. So the duty of irrigation water for that particular crop is the area, that is nothing but the relation between the area and the quantity of water supplied. So it is nothing but the ratio of the area to be irrigated by the amount of water supplied. Hence, the duty of irrigation water becomes 1,700 hectares per cubic. So the unit of duty is hectare per cubic. Next, a different crop requires a different amount of water before their harvesting, and hence duty of water varies with the crop type of crop grown, and duty of water is said to be high if the area of land irrigated per cubic is large. So it mainly depends on the area to be irrigated and the amount of water supplied. Next, delta of irrigation water. Delta of irrigation water is nothing but it is the total depth of water supplied to a particular crop grown in a particular area throughout its growth period is called the delta of irrigation water. Now, delta, it is the total depth of water required by a crop during the entire crop period, that is right from its sowing to its harvesting, and it is denoted by a symbol. Delta is denoted by the symbol. Suppose a crop requires 12 watering at an interval of 10 days each, and the depth of water required in each watering is say 10 centimeter. Suppose a particular crop requires 12 watering at an interval of 10 days, and the depth of water required in each watering is about 10 centimeter, then the delta for that particular crop becomes, because the 12 watering has been done and the depth of water supplied is about 10 centimeter, and the delta of irrigation water is 1.2 meters. So if the crop grown in an area of say 8 hectares, then the total quantity of water required is the depth of water supplied multiplied by the area, that is 1.2 a hectare meter. So the unit will be hectare meter because the depth of water supplied is in meters, and the area for the total area, the total quantity of water required is about 1.2 hectare meter in a period of 120 days, because that crop requires 12 watering at an interval of 10 days each. So the total number of irrigation period is about 120 days. So delta of irrigation water is nothing but it is the total depth of water required by a crop during the entire growth period of a particular crop. Now, the duty of irrigation water can be expressed in different ways as follows: by the number of hectares that 1 cubic of water can irrigate during the base period. So this base period is nothing but it is the total period right from the cultivation to the last harvesting. The water supplied before the last harvesting is called as the base period of a crop. So commonly used in canal irrigation during the base period of 120 days, that is duty of water for certain crop is 1000 hectares per cubic. So now duty can be identified or it can be expressed by the number of hectares that 1 cubic of water can irrigate during the entire base period, and also by the total depth of water applied, that is how much total depth of water has been applied during the entire growth period. And it can also be identified by the number of hectares can be irrigated by 1 million cubic of stored water, especially this is in tank irrigation. Tank irrigation, where you know the quantity of water, that is by the number of hectares can be irrigated by 1 million cubic meter of stored water. So this system is suitable for tank irrigation because the area that can be irrigated is less and amount of water stored in tank is also less. So it is also known as the quantity duty, or it is also called as the storage duty. And also the duty can be identified by the number of hectare meter of water expended or used per hectare of land irrigated. So that is nothing but it is the delta, that is how much amount of water or the depth of water per hectare has been effectively utilized So by these four following ways, the duty of water can be identified or expressed by the number of hectares that one cubic of water can irrigate, by the total depth of water applied, and by the number of hectares can be irrigated by 1 million cubic meter of stored water, and by the number of hectares meter of water used per hectare of land irrigated. Now, so the duty varies with its place of measurement. So variation of duty with the place of its measurement. Now let us discuss this. Now you have a field wherein you grow a particular type of crop. So this is the area of the field. Now this is the head of the field. So point C is nothing but the head of the field. So from here the water is supplied to this crop, supplied to this field or crop. Now, so this is the water course which carries water from the distributary canal to the field channel. Now you can see here, this is the head of the water course. So this is the head of the water course and this is the head of the field. So this is the water course through which the water is supplied to the field. Now, this is the distributary canal. This is the distributary canal which gets the water from the main canal. Now, this is the head of the distributary canal. So this is the head of the distributary canal. The water from the main canal is diverted through the distributary canal, and from the distributary canal, the water is diverted to the water field channel of the water course, and finally the water is supplied to the field. So here a particular type of crop to be grown. Now, the duty of irrigation water varies with its place of measurement. Now, this is the point where you will require the water to grow a particular type of crop, and this is the head of the field, and this is the head of the distributary, head of the water course or the field channel, and this is the head of the distributary, and here you may have the head of the main canal, Suppose, say, the area of this field is say 1,700 hectares. So let us assume that the area to be irrigated is about 1,700 hectares. And if 1 cubic of water is supplied to this field, then the duty of irrigation water becomes 1,700 divided by 1. That is 1,700 hectare per cubic. So the duty of irrigation water at the head of the field is 1,700 hectare per cubic. Now, between point C, B and C, so water has to travel this distance. So let us assume that there is a conveyance loss of say about 0.1%. So there is a conveyance loss of say about 0.1%. So hence the duty of the head of the water course here is, so here the amount of water supplied is 1 cubic. So here you require 1.1 cubic because you have to take into account the conveyance losses as 0.1 cubics. So here the discharge required is 1.1 cubic. So here the discharge required is 1 cubic, and if you consider the conveyance losses between point B and C, so it is about 0.1%. Say hence the discharge required at point B is about 1.1 cubic. Hence, so the area to be irrigated is 1,700 hectares. So if you divide it by 1.1, then the duty of irrigation water will be less than 1,700 hectare per cubic. Now again, from point A to B, so let us assume that the conveyance losses is say about 0.2%. So hence the discharge required at the head of the distributor is 1.3 cubics because here you are going to supply 1 cubic of water. So if you consider the conveyance losses between point B and C, the discharge required at this point is 1.1 cubic. And if you consider the conveyance losses between point B and A as say 0.2%, hence the discharge required at this point is about 1.3 cubics. Hence the duty at the head of the field is more than the duty at the head of the water course, and hence the duty at the head of the water course is greater than the duty at the head of the distributary. So as the water flows from the main canal to the distributary canal and through the field channel, and finally when it enters the fields at the head of the field, so the duty at this point is 1,700 per cumex. So, and the duty measured at this point is obviously less than the duty measured at the head of the field channel, and the duty measured at the head of the distributory is obviously less than the duty measured at the head of the water course. So the duty varies with its place of measurement. So as the water flows, the duty of irrigation water goes on reducing. So now you can see here the variation of duty with the place of its measurement. Now let's see with the head of the field. So let's see with the head of the field. Head of the field, water course. Let's see with the head of the field, and B with the head of the field water course, and A with the head of the distributory or the starting point. So if the area of the field to be irrigated is say 1700 hectares, and if 1 cubic of water is required at point C, then the duty of water at point C is equal to 1700 hectares per cubic. So similarly, let conveyance losses between B and A is assumed to be 0.1 cumex, and the discharge required at B will be, so here it is BC, it's not A. Similarly, let conveyance losses between B and A, C is about 0.1 cumex, and discharge required at B will be 1.1 cumex, and hence the duty of irrigation water at point B is 1545 hectares per cubic. Again, if the conveyance losses between A and B are taken to be equal to 0.2 cumex, the discharge required at point A is about 1.3 cumex. So if 1.3 cumex are discharged at point A, then 1 cumex will reach the head of the field. Hence, the duty of water at A will be about 1308 hectares per cubic. So hence, the duty of water increases as we move from the lead of the canal system to the field. So therefore, it is necessary to mention the place of measurements of duty. So that means the duty varies with its place of measurement. That means the whole thing is you require about 1.3 cubic of water in order to have a duty of irrigation water as of 1700 hectares per cubic at the point C or in the field. Now, we can establish a relationship between duty and delta of irrigation water. So the definition of duty is it is the irrigating capacity of 1 unit of water, and delta is nothing but it is the total depth of water required throughout the base period of the crop. Now, so let us establish a relationship between duty and delta. So now let capital D be duty of water in hectare per cubic, and delta is the total depth of water required during the base period in meters, and B is nothing but the base period in days. How many days? Usually for particular 4 months is taken as a base period, that is 4 months is nothing but about 120 days. Now, if we take or if we consider a field of D hectares, water supplied to the field corresponding to the water depth, that is delta, will be delta into D hectares, that is in hectare meter, that is D into delta into 10 to the power of 4 cubic meter. So you can convert hectares into cubic meter. Similarly, again for the same field of D hectares, 1 cubic of water is required to flow during the entire base period. Hence, the water supplied to the field will be 1 cubic into the base period. Base period is B into 24 into 60 into 60 meter cube. That is 1 cubic of water is required throughout the entire base period of the crop. Base period will be number of days. That is, in a day you have 24 hours. So multiplied by 60 into 60, that is cumex. You have to convert it into meter cube or cumex. So it becomes 1 into V into 24 into 60 into 60 meter cube. So now you can call this equation as 1 and you can call this equation as 2. So equating these two equations, so finally the delta of irrigation water will be equal to 8.64 B by D meter. So this is the relationship between the duty and delta of irrigation water. So delta will be is equal to 8.64 B by D, where B is the base period of the particular crop and D is the area in hectares. So you can establish a relationship between duty and delta of irrigation water, and the relationship is delta is equal to 8.64 B by D. So in every question paper, you have this question, that is establish a relationship between duty and delta of irrigation waters, which is nothing but delta is equal to 8.64 B by D. So now 1 hectare is 10 to the power of 4 square meter, and 1 cubic day. So in some of the problem we will get this. 1 cubic day is nothing but it is equal to 8.64 hectare meter. So this is the conversion factor. So if you have in any of the problem, if you have 1 cubic day, so which is nothing but 8.64 hectare meter. So this is the procedure to establish a relationship between duty and delta of irrigation water. Now, these are some of the definitions, that is high or low duty. So duty is being referred to as being high or low according to the number of hectare per cubic irrigated in large or small. So whether the duty is high or low, it depends on the number of hectare that has been irrigated by 1 cubic of irrigation water. Now, crop period. So it is the time in days that a crop takes from its instant of sowing to that of its harvesting. So different crops may have different crop period. So basically the definition of crop period is it is the time in days that a particular crop takes from its instant of sowing to its instant of harvesting. Next is base period. So it refers to the whole period of cultivation from the time when irrigation water is first applied for preparation of the land for planting the crop to its last watering before harvesting. So here the entire period of cultivation is taken into consideration. So before sowing a particular crop, the land has to be cultivated or prepared for sowing a particular crop. So it is the whole period of cultivation from the time when irrigation water is first applied for preparation of the ground for planting the crop to its last harvesting before the last watering done before its harvesting. So this is known as the base period. So generally the base period for a particular crop will be about 120 days. So especially for sugarcane crop, the base period will be about 340 to 50 days because sugarcane is a perennial crop. It requires water throughout the year. So next is gross commanded area. Gross commanded area. It is the total area lying between the drainage boundaries which can be commanded or irrigated by a canal system. So these things we have already discussed in the hydrology chapter. So we know what is a catchment area, and you can separate two catchment area, and it is the total area lying between the drainage boundaries. So the entire catchment area is considered as a gross commanded area. It is the total area lying between the drainage boundaries which can be commanded or irrigated by a canal system is called as a gross commanded area. So it is also abbreviated as GCA. So GCA is nothing but it is the gross commanded area, or the total area lying between the drainage boundaries is called as the gross commanded area. Now, next is the culturable commanded area. So the gross commanded area may also include villages, ponds, barren lands, alkaline lands, etc. And such areas are treated as unculturable area. So in the gross commanded area is the total area of the drainage basin. So this gross commanded area may also include areas like villages where the habitation takes place, ponds, barren land. So it is not barren land, it's barren land, alkaline lands, etc. And these areas are treated as unculturable area. So in these areas, you cannot carry out the irrigation activity. Hence, these areas are called as unculturable area. The remaining area on which crops can be grown satisfactorily is known as the culturable commanded area. So hence, the gross commanded area contains culturable commanded area plus unculturable area. So this unculturable area is nothing but areas like villages, ponds, barren land, and alkaline lands. So in these areas, you cannot carry out the irrigation activity. The remaining area on which you can satisfactorily grow crops is known as the cultivable commanded area. So hence, gross commanded area, it is cultivable commanded area plus uncultivable area. Again, cultivable cultivated area. It is the area in which crops is grown at a particular time or particular crop season. So again, in cultivable cultivated area, so it is the area in which crop is grown at a particular time or crop season. Next, cultivable uncultivated area. It is that area in which crop is not sown or grown in a particular season because of the following reasons: to increase the fertility of the soil. So in some areas, the cultivable cultivated area is left fallow. It is not used because of the following reasons: to increase the fertility of the soil, to provide pasture land for animals, and the crop to be sown in that land has different crop season, or to protect the land from possible danger of waterlogging. So in the cultivable cultivated area, you cannot cultivate the entire area. Some portion of the cultivable cultivated area is not cultivated because of the following reason, and such areas are known as cultivable uncultivated area. Next is, so these are some of the definitions: high or low duty, crop period, base period, gross commanded area, cultivable commanded area, cultivable cultivated area, cultivable uncultivated area. Now, what are the factors affecting duty of irrigation water or duty of water for crops? So now, the method and system of irrigation. So in case of perennial system of irrigation, has more duty of water than inundation irrigation system. The loss of water by deep percolation is minimum in the first case. So in perennial system of irrigation, which has more duty when you compare with the inundation irrigation, where you supply sufficient quantity of water. So much of water is lost due to deep percolation. Hence, the duty of irrigation water decreases in case of inundation irrigation. In flow irrigation by canals, the duty is less as conveyance losses are more. So whenever the water is supplied to the field through a system network of canals, so there are evaporation losses and conveyance losses. Hence, the duty of irrigation water is less. So in lift irrigation, the land to be irrigated are very near to the source of water than any surface method of irrigation. So hence, in case of lift irrigation, the duty is more when compared with the canal system of irrigation and inundation and perennial system of irrigation. So the duty of irrigation water is affected by the method and system of irrigation that is practiced in that particular area. And it also depends on the type of crop. So different crop requires varying quantities of water, and therefore duty of water varies from crop to crop. So crops requiring large quantity of water have lower duty than the crop requiring lesser quantity of water. So it also depends on the type of crop grown in that particular area. And also it depends on the climatic condition of that particular area. The climatic conditions such as wind, temperature, humidity, and rainfall affect the duty of water. At high temperature, losses due to evaporation and transpirations are more, and hence the duty of irrigation water decreases. At higher wind velocity, rate of evaporation and transpirations are more, thereby the duty gets decreased. But in humid conditions, evaporation and transpiration losses are less, and hence the duty of irrigation water increases. So next, the canal condition. So the canal which carries the water to the field. So it depends, the duty of irrigation water also depends on the canal condition. So in earthen canals, the seepage losses are obviously high, resulting in low duty. And if the canal is lined, losses are minimum, and hence duty increases. And if the length of the canal is very large, before it reaches the irrigation field, the duty of water decreases. So we have discussed this, where the duty varies with its place of measurement. And the quality of water also plays an important role. If the water contains harmful salts and alkali contents, then more water is to be applied literally to leach out these salts, and hence the duty of irrigation water decreases. And also it depends on the characteristics of soil and subsoil of the canal. If the soil and subsoil of the field and canal are made of porous grained soil, the seepage and percolation losses are more, and hence duty of water decreases. And if it is fine grained soil, losses will be less, and hence duty will be high. So these are some of the factors, and also it depends on the method of cultivation. If the land is properly tilled to the required depth and soil is made loose before irrigation water is applied, so retention capacity of the soil increases. This reduces the number of watering or frequency of watering, and hence the duty of water increases. So duty also depends on the method of cultivation. Next, mode of applying water to the crop. So the flood irrigation system has less duty than the furrow system of irrigation, and subsurface irrigation gives still higher duty, and the ring basin irrigation and uncontrolled flooding gives less duty. So duty also depends on the mode of applying water to the crop. Next is time and frequency of tilling. So the frequency of cultivation reduces the loss of moisture through weeds. A good arrangement of soil particle is called good tilth of soil. So when the soil is good and tilth, evaporation losses from the surface is less, so soil becomes properly aerated, hence the yield of the crop also better. That means frequent tilling increases the duty of irrigation water. Next, the base period of the crop. If the base period of the crop is more, then the amount of water required will be high, and hence duty will be low, and vice versa. So these are some of the factors, and also it depends on the method of assessment of water. Suppose volumetric method of assessment always leads to higher duty. That means the required amount of water can be supplied. So this is because farmers will use water economically. This method is based on the area under cultivation. If the farmer will have a tendency to use more water, and hence the duty will be very less. So the method of assessment of water means volumetric method of assessment is more useful, because here the required amount of water will be supplied to the field, hence the duty of irrigation water increases. And also it depends on the characteristics of soil and subsoil in irrigation field. So it also depends on the top layer of the soil in the irrigation field. So if it is a sandy soil, the percolation losses will be high, hence the duty of irrigation water decreases. And if it is fine grained soil, losses will be less, and hence duty will be higher. The duty is also affected by the topography of the surrounding area. If the field is not level, lower portion gets more water, while the higher portions may remain drier. So it also depends on the slope of the ground. In order to supply water to the higher places, more water will be used and duty will be reduced. So these are some of the factors on which the duty of irrigation water affected by the duty of irrigation water, that is method and system of irrigation, the type of crop grown, the climatic condition of that particular area, and the canal condition, canal which carries the water to the field, and also quality of water, and the characteristics of soil and subsoil of the canal, and the method of cultivation practiced in that particular area, and the method of applying water to the crops, and the time and frequency of tilling, that is the plowing and tilling operations, and the base period of that particular crop, and also the method of assessment of water, and the characteristics of soil and subsoil in the irrigation field. So these are some of the factors which affects the duty of irrigation water. So hence, duty of irrigation water is nothing but it is the irrigating capacity of 1 unit of water, and the unit of duty is always hectares per cubic, and delta is the depth of water supplied during the entire growth period of the crop. And the relationship between duty and delta is equal to 8.64 B by D. And the duty also varies with its place of measurement, and due to the conveyance losses from the head of the main canal to the head of the water course or head of the field channel. And also these are some of the factors which directly influence the duty. So in the next class, we shall discuss what are the methods to improve the duty of irrigation water. So I'll be ending the class. So please mark your attendance. So already I have shared assignment in the Google class. So you have to submit on 19th of this month. Chaitra, are you there? Chaitra? Login ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವ. Chaitra AB, Kavya KS, Kavya KS, Manoj, am I audible? Manoj, Nisarga HG, Pranita Shetty, Ritu SM,
Yes, sir.
ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ?
sir.
ಗೂಗಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ನೋಡಿದೆ.
Work out that because those questions have been picked up from old question paper. So you have to submit on or before 19th of this month. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sampath A. Mr. Sampath.
Sir.
Okay. Sanjana D. ಸಂಜನಾ ಡಿ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಹೊರಗಡೆ? ಸಂಜನಾ ಡಿ, ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ್ ಸಿಆರ್.
Yes, sir.
ಓಕೆ. ಶಬರಿ, are you there?
Yes, sir.
ಕೆಲವರು ಯಾಕೋ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಎನಿವೆ, ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ NC, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sampath.
Yes, sir.
Shashank P.
Yes, sir.
Shivprasad. Mr. Shivprasad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Google Classroom ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ? ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Yes, sir. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಬೇಗ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anyway, I will end this session. So we shall meet on Friday. So till then, have a nice day. Goodbye. Thank you.